Outside a Philly courthouse, two cops cuff a calm black woman, accusing her of fraud with fake evidence. They smirk, thinking they've won until her lawyer storms in, and she reveals a CIA badge. In a tense trial, secrets unravel, lies crumble, and justice flips the script. Will their careers survive? Or will her calm defiance spark more? Dive into this gripping tale of power, deceit, and a city on edge. Philadelphia's Old City pulsed with late afternoon life on November 14, 2025. The federal courthouse's stone facade towering over 3rd Street, its arched windows catching the last of a gray dusk. Nia Carter stepped from a yellow cab at 4:45 p.m., her mid-30s frame poised in a tailored charcoal suit that hugged her curves, her black skin glowing against the muted light, her calm confidence, a quiet force in every deliberate move. She adjusted her leather satchel monogrammed NC in gold, her cool brown eyes scanning the scene. Lawyers in overcoats hurrying down steps, a hot dog vendor packing his cart, a young couple snapping selfies by the courthouse plaque. She paid the driver with a crisp 20, her fingers steady, her gaze drifting to two uniformed cops leaning against a 9th District cruiser, parked across the street, unaware they'd marked her. Sergeants Tom Hargrove and Ray Platt had been idling there since 4:30, their shift dragging after a morning tip from Eddie Klein, a jittery deli clerk with a rap sheet for petty theft. Eddie stumbled into the precinct at 9 a.m., sweating through his stained apron, claiming a black woman flashed a federal badge at his counter on Market Street, bragging, "I run this show back off." His blurry phone photo, her face half-turned, suit sharp, was enough for Hargrove, 48, burly with a graying buzz cut, to see a chance. Bust a fraud, pad their arrest stats, flex some muscle in a city that rarely blinked at their stunts. Platt, 46, leaner, his sharp face framed by thinning brown hair, had nodded. "Fake Fed, let's nail her." Their trap was crude, but ready a forged federal ID. Serial numbers skewed, too pristine for wear. Found in a courthouse trash can at 4:35 by Platt, who'd slipped it there himself, paired with Eddie's shaky tail, and a crumpled warrant Hargrove mocked up from a template, edges too crisp to be legit. They strode across 3rd Street, boots thudding on cobblestone. Hargrove took point, his bulk looming as he barked, "Hands up now, fraud, impersonating a federal officer." Platt flanked her, snapping cuffs from his belt, his wiry frame coiled tight. Nia froze mid-step, her satchel swinging slightly, then turned slow, her cool brown eyes locked onto Hargrove's with a flicker of amusement, a faint smile tugging her full lips. "You're making a big mistake, Sergeant." Hargrove's jaw clenched. Her calm rattled him, too steady, too sure for someone cornered. Platt sneered. "Caught you cold, cut the act," and grabbed her wrist, his grip bruising as he slapped the cuffs on, tighter than protocol demanded. He shoved her against the cruiser's hood. Her satchel hit the ground with a soft thud, and he slipped the planted warrant into its outer pocket, the paper's edges catching the fading light. Too new, too perfect. A small crowd gathered. Two lawyers paused on the steps. A vendor peered over his cart. A woman in a red coat whispered to her friend, murmurs rippling, as Hargrove loomed closer, his breath sour with coffee. "Fraud's done fake ID, impersonating a Fed. We got you dead to rights." Nia didn't flinch, her voice cut through, steady as steel. "Call James Ellison, my lawyer. You'll want him here." Platt snorted, "No tricks, lady," and snatched her phone from her hand. She tapped 911-JE on the screen, a swift flick of her thumb before he grabbed it, his fingers brushing hers as he pocketed it with a smirk. "Evidence, now. Nice try." She tilted her head, that faint smile holding. "Check that ID serial. You might learn something." Hargrove waved it off, his voice a growl. "Save it for the judge move." He yanked her upright, his meaty hand clamping her arm. Platt scooped her satchel, rifling it quick, pulling the forged ID and warrant with a grin. "Look at this. Caught her red-handed." Nia's eyes flicked to the courthouse, a glimmer sparking something deeper. A secret coiled tight, then back to Hargrove, her calm unshaken. "Your mistake's growing, Sergeant." He shoved her toward the cruiser's back door. Platt opened it with a creak, muttering, "Keep talking. Jail's waiting." She slid in, her steps measured, her cuffed hands resting easy, her silence now a weapon, her mind racing ahead. The cruiser peeled off, tires crunching gravel, weaving through Old City's narrow streets to the 9th District Precinct, 3 blocks west. Hargrove smirked in the front. "Another scammer down, easy stats." Platt scrolled her phone, chuckling. "Texting cute, but too late." Nia sat in the back, her cool brown eyes fixed on the passing storefronts, Patel's Deli, where Eddie worked. Flickered by, her faint smile lingered. A quiet promise brewing. The crowd dispersed, lawyers resumed their rush. The vendor shook his head, but a woman in a red coat lingered, snapping a photo of the cruiser. Her expression tight. A thread Hargrove and Platt didn't see. The 9th District Precinct buzzed with the low hum of late-shift chaos at 5:50 p.m. Its bullpen a tangle of ringing phones, clacking keyboards, and the faint tang of burnt coffee hanging in the air. Nia Carter sat in a holding cell, a 6x8 cage of chipped paint and steel bars, her tailored charcoal suit still crisp despite the cuffs. Her mid-30s frame poised on the metal bench, her calm confidence unshaken. Her cool brown eyes tracked Sergeants Tom Hargrove and Ray Platt through the bars as they gloated. Hargrove, burly, his graying buzz cut catching the fluorescent glare, tossed her satchel onto a cluttered desk, smirking. "Fraud's toast Eddie's tip, plus this fake ID, open and shut." Platt, leaner, his sharp face shadowed by thinning brown hair, pulled the forged ID and planted warrant, grinning. "Caught her cold, game over." Nia's voice cut through, steady as a blade. "Check that ID's serial yet?" Hargrove spun, his face flushing red. "Shut it. We've got your badge. Your scam's done." She tilted her head, a faint smile tugging her lips. "You sure it's mine?" Her calm pricking his bravado like a needle under skin. Platt smirked, but a flicker of doubt crossed his eyes. Hargrove glanced at the ID, muttering, "Serial's fine, looks real enough." Platt had hauled Eddie Klein in from a backroom 40, skinny, his deli apron stained, hands fidgeting pressing. "Tell it again what she did," Eddie stammered, sweat beading. "She flashed a badge-fed, big, shot threatened me, loud, real loud." Hargrove typed his report ballooned. Suspect resisted arrest. ID found at scene, 5:45 p.m. Confirmed by witness, Edward Klein, reported intimidation. The precinct door swung wide. James Ellison stormed in at 5:50, gray hair slicked back like polished steel, his pinstripe suit razor sharp, his voice a thunderclap that silenced the bullpen. "Release my client now or you're both finished careers. Pensions. All of it." Hargrove stood, chest puffed, his bulk filling the space. "She's a fraud, caught her dead to rights with a fake ID, impersonating a Fed." Platt smirked, tossing the forged badge onto the desk. Eddie saw her, open and shut. Ellison's cool gray eyes glinted, cold and hard. He stepped forward, his polished loafers clicking on the linoleum, closing the gap until he loomed over Hargrove's desk. "Check with Langley, she's cleared, and you're in deeper than you know." Hargrove's jaw tightened, his meaty hands slamming the desk. "Prove it! Show me paper, hotshot, or get out!" Platt leaned back, arms crossed, his smirk faltering. Ellison's presence rattled him. The man's calm authority a stark contrast to their bluster. "You want proof?" Ellison said, his voice dropping low, a velvet threat. "You'll see it in court tomorrow, 9 a.m., federal courthouse. But by then, your badges will be ash." Hargrove barked. "Bull! Give me something now or she's booked." He snatched the precinct phone, punching the captain's line. "Check Langley, humor this clown. Nia Carter, bullshit Fed, right? Make it quick." Platt's fingers tapped the forged ID, sweat beading. Did he sense the crack forming? Ellison leaned closer, his breath steady, his gaze piercing Hargrove's bravado. "You think this is a game? You've got a CIA consultant in cuffs. Langley's already on alert. Keep her, and you're not just fired, you're indicted." Hargrove's face flushed deeper, his voice a growl. Langley's a fairy tale, prove it, or she's processed. Platt shifted, uneasy. Ellison's briefcase clicked open, a sealed letter sliding out. CIA letterhead, faint, under the precinct's harsh lights. This stays sealed until court, Ellison said. But one call upstairs ends this now, your choice. Hargrove snatched the letter, squinting at the seal. Platt muttered, Captain'll fry us, check it. Captain Reese buzzed back at 5:58, his voice clipped through the line. Langley confirms. Nia Carter, consultant, top clearance, active since 2018. What did you idiots do? Hargrove's hand shook, the phone slipping, his face drained. Bull, she's faking still. Langley's wrong. Platt faltered, sweat dripping, Ellison's voice cut deeper. Hold her if you dare, but you're digging graves your own. Tomorrow, 9 a.m., you face the music suspension's the least of it. Nia stood, cuffs glinting, her faint smile widened. Told you, big mistake. Hargrove glared, his fist clenching. Book her anyway. Captain's bluffing. Platt grabbed his arm. Tom, Reese is pissed. Let's hold off, she's clean. Ellison dialed, speaker crackling. Langley, verify Nia Carter urgent, priority 1. A crisp voice answered. Carter, Nia consultant, clearance level TS, SCI, confirmed active. Who's this? Ellison grinned. Her lawyer, 9th District's got her cuffed. The voice sharpened. Release her now or expect a call from higher. Hargrove's face went white. Platt stared at Nia. Then the ID, Hargrove snapped. Process her. Langley's wrong. I'm not scared. Platt hesitated, voice low. Captain'll skin us. Reese said let her go. Ellison smirked. See you at 9. Good luck explaining this to the DA. Nia sat back, her calm a fortress. Hargrove roared. Take her, Prince, move. But Platt froze, the trap splintering, her secret poised to break them. November 15th dawned crisp and tense. The federal courthouse in Old City, a monolith of justice under a slate-gray sky gallery packed by 8:45 a.m. Rose, brimming with cops in blue, reporters scribbling, civilians whispering. Nia Carter sat at the plaintiff's table, her tailored suit pristine, her mid-30s poise unshaken, her cool brown eyes glinted, her faint smile a quiet promise. James Ellison flanked her, his gray hair slicked, suit sharp, briefcase open. Prosecutor Daniel Mills, 40, wiry with a buzz cut, stood ready. Across the aisle, Hargrove and Platt slumped in rumpled suits. Hargrove's broad frame tense, Platt's lean face, pale Greg Tatum, their lawyer, 45, balding, adjusted his tie, sweat beading. Judge Clara Monroe, 60, stern behind wire-rimmed glasses, took the bench at 9 o'clock, gavel sharp. Carter versus Hargrove and Platt false arrest, evidence fabrication proceed. Mills opened, pacing before Monroe's bench, voice steady. November 14th, Sergeants Hargrove and Platt wrongfully arrested Nia Carter outside this courthouse, accused her of fraud and impersonation with fabricated evidence, a forged ID, a planted warrant. Their intent, malice, not mistake ruined an innocent woman's day, a CIA consultant no less. The gallery, murmured reporters, leaned in. Kane, a cop loyalist, glared from the back. Tatum stood, voice oily. Legit bus suspect flashed a fake ID. Witness Edward Klein saw it, probable cause, not malice. He waved at Hargrove and Platt. Hargrove smirked. Platt shifted. Mills called Nia. She strode to the stand, swore in, her voice clear. I'm Nia Carter, CIA consultant, top clearance since 2018. November 14th, 4:45 p.m. I exited a cab here. Hargrove and Platt arrested me, accused me of fraud, impersonating an officer. They planted an ID and warrant. Hargrove said, caught you cold. Platt shoved me, bruised my wrist. She held up her wrist, faint purple marks, glinted under the lights, then pulled a badge from her pocket, CIA seal gleaming. This is my credential, Langley verified. The gallery, gasped reporters, scribbled. Kane's jaw tightened. Ellison stood, briefcase open. Plaintiff exhibit A forged ID, serial invalid, pristine condition. Unlike Carter's worn badge. Exhibit B Langley clearance letter, verified this morning. He handed them up. Monroe peered over her glasses. Langley confirmation? Ellison nodded. Called at 8:30 legit, TS-SCI level. Tatum shot up. Objection. Unverified source. Monroe overruled. Langley's word holds, proceed. Nia faced Hargrove. You planted that warrant, why? Hargrove smirked. You're a fraud. Eddie saw you flash it. Platt nodded. Nia's smile widened. Eddie, your informant? Interesting. Mills called Eddie Klein 40, twitchy. His stained apron swapped for a wrinkled shirt. She flashed a badge-fed big shot threatened me, he said, voice shaky. Ellison crossed, slow. You know Hargrove sold him weed last year, right? Eddie blinked. No, well. Gallery buzzed. Deal to lie? Ellison pressed, holding a photo Eddie with Hargrove, alley shadows. Eddie stammered. He asked me, said it's a favor. Tatum leapt. Speculation. Monroe. Overruled, he's crumbling. Continue. Eddie sank. They told me, say she bragged. Mills played precinct audio Platt's voice. Stick it in. She's done. Hargrove. Eddie'll hold. The gallery stirred. Hargrove's smirk faded. Platt gripped the table. Ellison called Captain Reese 50, grizzled. They bragged, nail her. Easy bust, post-arrest, 6 p.m. Tatum flailed. Hearsay. Monroe. Tape's clear next. Nia faced Monroe. They lied, ruined my day. My wrist, why? Power. Prejudice? Monroe scribbled. Hargrove muttered. Bull. Platt shrank day, one tilted. Their lies cracking under Nia's calm. November 16th broke, cold and tense over Philadelphia. The federal courthouse in Old City, a fortress of justice under a slate-gray sky. Its gallery packed by 8:45 a.m., with a restless crowd, reporters scribbling. Cops in blue shifting uneasily. Civilians whispering in tight clusters. Nia Carter sat at the plaintiff's table. Her mid-30s frame poised in a tailored navy suit. Her black skin glowing under the courtroom's stark lights. Her calm confidence unshaken. After day one's bombshell, her CIA badge gleaming. Eddie Klein's testimony crumbling under scrutiny. James Ellison flanked her, 50, gray hair slicked, pinstripe suit sharp, his cool gray eyes glinting with purpose. Prosecutor Daniel Mills, 40, wiry with a buzz cut, stood ready, flipping through notes. Across the aisle, Sergeants Tom Hargrove and Ray Platt slumped. Hargrove's burly frame tense, his graying buzz cut damp with sweat. Platt's lean face pale, his thinning hair disheveled. Greg Tatum, their lawyer, 45, balding, adjusted his tie, his hands trembling. Judge Clara Monroe, 60, stern behind wire-rimmed glasses, took the bench at 9:00. Her gavel, a sharp crack. Day 2 Carter versus Hargrove and Platt, false arrest, evidence fabrication prosecution, proceed. Mills stood, pacing before Monroe's bench, his voice steady and cutting. Yesterday, Nia Carter proved her innocence. CIA consultant, top clearance, targeted by Hargrove and Platt with a forged ID and planted warrant. Today, we show intent malice, not mistake, through their own words and actions. The gallery murmured, Kane, a cop loyalist in the back row, glared, his knuckles whitening. Reporters leaned forward, pens poised. Tatum shot up. Objection, prejudicial, assumes guilt. Monroe's eyes narrowed. Overruled evidence speaks, counsel. Sit. Mills nodded, turning to his table. Exhibit C precinct audio, November 14th, 6:00 p.m. He pressed play. A recorder crackled. Platt's voice sharp. Stick it in her bag, she's done. Eddie'll hold. Hargrove's growl followed. Frauds toast easy bust, stats up. The gallery stirred, reporters scribbled furiously. Kane's jaw tightened, his loyalist crew shifting. Hargrove's face drained, his broad hands gripping the table. Platt sank lower, his sharp face paling further. Monroe leaned forward. Source: Mills handed up a sealed report. FBI forensic recovered from precinct server, timestamped, chain intact. Tatum leapt. Tampered unverified. Monroe overruled. FBI certifies admissible. Next. Mills called Captain Michael Reese 50, grizzled. His uniform crisp, despite precinct rumors of his fury. Reese swore in, his voice gravelly. November 14th, 6:05 p.m., Hargrove and Platt bragged in my office. Nailed her, easy bust, frauds down. I asked about the ID, they laughed, Eddie saw it, good enough. Later, 6:30, Platt said, she's nobody stats matter. The gallery buzzed, reporters whispered. Kane's glare darkened. Ellison crossed, slow and sharp. They mentioned planting? Reese nodded. Platt muttered, warrant's in, she's cooked. I pressed. They dodged. Tatum flailed. Hearsay, no proof. Monroe. Direct witness overruled. Continue. Naya stood again, her voice clear, cutting through the hum. They lied. Hargrove shoved me. Platt bruised me, planted evidence to frame me. Why? Power, prejudice. I'm a black woman with clearance they couldn't fathom. She held up her wrist. Faint purple marks glinted, then her badge. This is real Langley's truth. The gallery gasped. Hargrove muttered, bull. Platt shrank. Mills played more audio. Hargrove. She's a fraud, Eddie solid. Platt. Stats up, who cares? Monroe scribbled. Her glasses slipped. Intent clear? Ellison called Officer Dukes. 38, stocky. Precinct Pal Dukes swore in, voice low. November 14th, 5:55 p.m., Platt asked me to run her nothing legit, right? I said clean too clean. He grinned. Perfect, frauds cooked. Tatum leapt. Speculation. Monroe. Direct sit. Dukes added, Hargrove bragged later. Stats up, she's down. The gallery stirred. Kane's crew muttered. Reporters buzzed. Mills closed. Malice fabrication. Abuse guilty beyond doubt. Tatum stood, pacing unevenly, voice shaky. Mistake, not crime. Eddie saw a badge, probable cause tapes twisted, witnesses coached. No intent, just cops doing their job. He waved at Hargrove and Platt. Hargrove nodded. Platt stared at the floor, his fight faltered, sweat soaking his collar. Monroe leaned back. Rebuttal? Mills rose. Tapes don't twist, stick it in. Stats up, their words, their malice. Monroe waved them down. Recess 11 Shah, verdict after. The gallery erupted, reporters swarmed. Kane slipped out, whispering to a cop. Naya sat, her faint smile steady. At 11:05, Monroe returned, gallery hushed. Air thick. I've reviewed audio, testimony, Langley seal. Hargrove and Platt arrested Naya Carter, false ID. Planted warrant. Intent clear from their own mouths. Guilty false arrest, evidence fabrication. Suspended without pay, case to DA pending charges. Her gavel fell, Hargrove roared. Lies you'll pay! Platt slumped, face buried. Bailiffs moved in. Outside, crowds swelled by noon reporters swarmed Naya. CIA, why silent? She smiled. Justice spoke, I didn't need to. Ellison whispered. Langley's watching, stay sharp. Hargrove's loyalist Kane muttered to a cop. She's marked, watch her. November 17th, rallies grew. Victims spoke. They framed me, sheds gone. Find me, nothing left. Naya stood on her stoop, badge pocketed, Kane's note hit. You're next. She gazed at Philly's skyline. Justice won. Shadows lingered. Would Kane strike or fade? Would the city heal or fracture? Her fight stretched on, open, alive. Thank you all for watching this video. Please comment and let me know what you think about this story. Please like and subscribe to watch more great content on my channel.